love to stream live. I mean, if I'm going to present, like, we might as well let the whole world see it, right? So let me, although I think there's only 15 seats left, so the whole world can't get in, but hang on. All right, here we go. All right, can everybody see my slides? All right, cool. I'm going to take my little chat. When I have my chat like covering over my slides, can you guys see my chat in my slides? No? Okay, you can see my full slides. Okay, awesome. All right, yay. Okay, so happy Monday. I love Mondays, in case you didn't know. Let me know in the chat as we're getting started and as folks are joining, what have you guys heard about business basics? I'm always just curious. What have you heard about business basics? And what are your biggest business needs today? By the way, this is for business owners. So if you're not running a business or launching a business, you might be in the wrong spot. This is all about business. Let me know, like, what are your biggest needs in your business? And then also, as you guys are jumping on really quick, we've got every single one of you was assigned a concierge because we're going to go through a lot of information in a short amount of time. And if you have questions that can't get answered today, your concierge can answer them for you. They are amazing humans who are students or graduates of our business basics. They're entrepreneurs who are scaling their own businesses, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. So with that, really quickly, Brooke, do you want to just say hi really quick so everybody's got a face to a name in case Brooke is your concierge?
Hey, everyone. My name is Brooke Mall, and you'll be in touch with me soon. Excited to work with you.
Yay, awesome. And then we also have Miss Laurel.
Good morning. So happy and excited to be here. And I've been through this program, so happy to answer any questions for anybody.
Awesome, awesome. And I'm not sure, is Sandra on today? If not, okay. And if you're assigned Sandra, know that she is one of our incredible concierges as well. And if she's your concierge, she's can answer any questions you have that if you can't get through them today. So just FYI, where we're headed, we are going to be presenting to you what is inside of our business basics today. We are also going to be sharing with you, we're going to bring some students up who've recently graduated or going through the program, can share with you their experiences as, growing entrepreneurs in the online space. And surprise, we're actually tacked on an extra 30 to 45 minutes on the end for Q&A. For any of you who have questions that you want to get answered. And if you have questions and you can't hang on, don't worry, you can meet with your concierge or book a clarity call, okay? We'll talk about that in a little bit, all right? Okay, but first of all, let me just share with you, and I love seeing your faces, so if you can take yourselves off of hide video, that would be awesome. I just love presenting to a live audience. Yay, Patrice, Jen, Dr. Thay, we've got another PharmD in the house. I actually have a doctorate in pharmacy. A lot of people don't even know that. I feel like it was so long ago. Eric, Kim, awesome. Thanks, guys. So our promise to you as we get kicked off, know that my goal over the next hour is to showcase to you why Business Basics is the most powerful plan for scaling your business. It's the formula we created and have applied to multiple businesses that we've launched to the 6- and 7-figure mark, right? And so our promise to you is the most powerful plan for scaling your business, making that ultimate shift and going from struggling to making sense of online business, stretched too thin and confused as to where to focus. I've been there. We're going to talk about that. 2, expanding your profits with clear direction is through our 6-step process, community, and coaching inside of our business basics, right? So that's our promise to you today and what we're going to share with you. But before we dive in, I do want you to know, if you've participated in anything Burnout to All Out before, you know we always throw out something fun at the end for people who are streaming live. So we will have a really cool special bonus we're throwing out there for anyone who decides Business Basics is actually exactly what they need. We've got a really cool bonus for you guys today. So you'll want to stick into the end. So this is just I would love to hear from you in the chat. You don't have to share with me in the chat, but I want you to think through some of these questions I'm about to ask you. Okay. I just want to understand, I want you to think about where you are right now and how you're feeling about your business and support in your business. Now, this is a fun picture because this is our team. This is our community. This is a number of our clients from our last live event. I thought it was just really timely since we're talking about support here. But just how are you feeling from a support perspective, right? And how has the first half of 2023, can you believe it's half? January, February, March, April, May. We're almost at the 6-month mark, right? How are you feeling? How has it panned out for you, right? I'm swinging from a $500 branch to a 500 branch, and I'm exhausted. Thank you for being honest, Claire. Thank you. I have been there. We have been there, right? Oh my gosh. The trials and tribulations of entrepreneurship are real. The feast and famine, right? Wondering if you're going to make payroll, right? Are you where you plan to be? Some of you maybe have outpaced yourself and you're beyond where you thought you were going to be, which is amazing, right? Some of you are not where you want to be. And now some of you, I'm going to call you out, don't even know because you never wrote a freaking business plan. And you're like, I don't know, I'm just winging it, Melissa. I can't even tell you whether I'm doing well or not. Okay. We should all have business plans. I've got a great podcast on that and you can go back and visit that. But where are you in your milestones? Every great leader, every great business owner checks in at least every 90 days, right? To where they're progressing so that they can move the needle, right? And then what needs to happen to get to your goals this year if you're not there already? And what support have you identified that you need? This is a really great time of year. I love this time of year because it's a time that you can still make radical changes and exceed your goals, even if you aren't where you thought you wanted to be, right? There's still time, right? Maybe you're lit up on fire right now. I know our team is. I've been in many seasons and we'll talk about that. Maybe you're on fire, maybe you're feeling empowered, or maybe you're a little bit deflated and need a swift kick in the ass, right? Like I've been every version of that. And I tend to pendulum back and forth, right? I think that's the life of entrepreneurship. So just what are you craving right now for your business? Are you craving more support, intimate coaching, live experiences, more step-by-step guidance? Like what is it for you, right? What I will share for me before we dive into what's in our program is that's where I was when I started investing in experts and communities, is when I realized as the CEO of my business, I had to do a self-analysis of myself, of my business routinely to understand where my gaps were, where I was at my ceiling. Many times we're flatlining just because we're at our lid of capacity of knowledge. There's a whole nother, 10, 18, 20 stories we can go if we have the right leadership and guidance. We've just hit our lid, right? So I knew the gaps in my business, and seeking expert mentorship along the way has scaled me at every level. This is my mentor right now with Jackie Denowit, who's my operations director. We're both in a really high level mastermind together right now. Going from 0 to 365,000 in my first year, I hired a coach. Going to $1 million in 19 months. I was in 3 different programs, and now doing $1 million in less than 5 months. I'm in coaching programs. See, I hope you hear the consistent thread here is that I'm always identifying where I'm going next and finding the people who can take me there. And so what I just want to reiterate here is that at every level, I've not gone it alone. And I've had communities to support me. And the thing I want to hit on here, and you can see where I went on an ATV with some friends in the mastermind, creating these friendships and being in a cohesive group makes your goals more attainable, right? I never would have launched a podcast if a peer cohort of mine who was right beside me in a mastermind didn't launch hers. And then I was like, because everyone else I didn't know, right? And for me to be like, oh, well, they launched a podcast, but they're special. But then when people I knew personally in a group were launching, I was like, oh, if they can do it, I can do it, right? I watched a good friend host their first live event, and I'm like, oh, if they can do it, I can do it. It was much more attainable when I was in a cohort, spending time with people that I knew, and seeing them succeed gave me, the giddy up to succeed. So a little bit behind my story. So if you had all the essential building blocks in one program to scale your business, would it be key, right? Would it be key? That's just a rhetorical question. So let me ask you this. Does this sound like you? Does this sound like you? Are you, and let me know in the chat if this resonates with any of you guys. And I see you, George. Exciting, never been so broke, but with so much potential. Starting a new venture is challenging when you're underfunded. Lord, do I know. What was it, a year or two ago that I put 50 grand on a business Amex for a mastermind? And in that year, I made $1 million. I knew it was where I needed to be. Sometimes we have to make calculated risks, right? To get to where we need to go so that we're no longer stuck. So listen, I feel you. I've been there. So are you struggling to scale into a thriving business? Do you have more questions than answers about leveraging technology to scale? I know that's been me. Are you isolated from a like-minded network, or just don't know where to start? Or are you seeking small group mentorship and live events? Or maybe some of you have an amazing offer, you've got an amazing service, and it's just not selling. Does this relate to any of you guys, right? I know I've been in every single one of these buckets before, right? So my question to you is, what if you could get weekly support in the key fundamentals that may be blocking your success today, right? That's why you guys are here. What we're excited to share with you guys today is our Business Basics Accelerator. It is not just another on-demand course. If any of you have been a part of my LinkedIn Method Academy, you know how interactive, high touch, and hands-on our programs are. It is a live, accountability-led, expert, interactive online business mentorship over 6 months. Our students have monthly projects that are delivered at the end of each month. They are results oriented. There are deliverables to make your business succeed. We actually give awards to our clients who finish their projects first, right? We are incentivizing you guys to get results, right? So we built this program based off the key fundamentals to success in the online space, right? The key components we teach and support on have been critical for my own growth at every level, from 0 to 6 figures. We'll talk about this in a minute. From 6 to 7 figures, from 7 figures to multiple 7 figures. There are critical core components to this day that we practice, that we teach inside of our Business Basics. I've sourced the absolute experts in the field from whom our clients get expert coaching from. Surprise, it's not just me, right? Like, there's a reason my business is successful, and it's because I have experts that I've brought in to help me build the back end of my business. And this is what our clients get. You'll find no other program like this, with project-oriented deliverables and live events and live coaching along the way, right? So with that, I am excited to share with you guys what is inside the Business Basics Accelerator. There's a couple of core components I'm going to share with you. The first piece that I'm going to share with you is we have the core projects, right? I'm going to walk you through all the core projects. And then we also have weekly coaching in other categories. We're going to talk about that as well, along with our live events. Okay. So know that we've got a couple things that we're going to review today that you may want to take notes on so that you can ask questions here at the end. Okay. So let's start with the 6 core projects. And Jackie Denowit's going to help me walk you through this, because quite honestly, she really spearheads a huge piece of this, and you'll see why in a couple of minutes. So our projects alone, and I think you would agree when I'm done walking you through all of them, their total value by themselves could be $15,000. We could easily charge even more than that, because we take our experts, they coach you through the project, they coach you through the midstream, you have a deliverable at the end, and you have a result at the end. And there's 6 core projects. Also know that some of you may go through these, as I review these core projects, you may say, well, I'm good at that one, but I'm not good at this one. I don't have that one, but I do need this one. I want to underscore and say that we have clients who come through. Awesome. If you've got one you think is fully built out, or even 2, you're going to have more time to work on your other projects. But I also guarantee you, some of you think you have these pieces fully fleshed out. And when you go through it with our experts, you may have to burn it to the ground and start from scratch, or you may need to edit it a little bit, right? But I will say up front, there's no a la carte with the program. It is all encompassing, all intensive 6-month mini mastermind. Okay. So with the first one, we are teaching you how to build a recognizable brand with our brand expert, Danielle Damrell. We teach you how to perfect that $1 million recognizable brand, perfecting your brand voice, your color palettes, your brand guide, and your brand board. Again, some of you may say, I've got this down to a T. I'm going to let Jackie speak to this in a minute, but I love giving you guys real world examples. So let me show you what took our business from a 100K business to $1 million business. This was our brand. Anybody see or recognize or remember this color scheme or font or any of it? This was my original LinkedIn Method Academy. We called it the Inside Scoop. The branding is radically different than what it is today. Minor shifts in font and color and brand voice and how you articulate yourself can make all the difference in who you're attracting online. Jackie, can you speak a little bit to the building a recognizable brand project before I move into the irresistible offer, or anything you want to add?
Yeah, I think, your brand should be an evolution, as you just saw Melissa's brand being a true evolution there. And as you're going to see in the coming months, Melissa's brand is even going to go through a little bit more of an evolution. And that's good. It should. What you start off with, the first brand board that you come up with that you found off of a Pinterest board somewhere, you're like, oh, I love this. You'll find that does not get you through the whole thing. And if you go back and search through some of the biggest brands out there, go back and look at their really old stuff and look at how it's been an evolution. So your brand should be that way too. And that's why I say, even if you come in and you think, oh, I got my brand board and everything, we're going to really challenge you to think about that. Is it really the right thing? Is it the right color for your audience? Does your brand voice match your colors? All of these things matter, and we're going to help you build this piece, which is the most foundational piece to your entire brand that you kind of just have to get right.
Yes, totally. And by the way, we've designed this curriculum just like we do in our academy. It's in order on purpose. It stacks on itself. We want your visual brand to be on point before you move forward into the rest of the projects, right? Okay, so the next project is creating your irresistible offer. So this is, value of clarity on this offer, building an offer that people actually buy. Do you want to speak to this a little bit, Jackie?
Yeah, this is like, whereas your brand is your foundation, building your offer is the next most important piece. And so many people, I think, you see maybe all these other things like your course and your opt-in and all of these things, you try to get to those first before you have a really solid offer. Building an offer is comprised of so many pieces that so many people don't even think about. Like just popping your program up there and saying like, here it is, like, there's so much more that makes it actually convert and makes it actually perform the way that you want it to perform in the marketplace. And if you are one of those people and you're like, well, my offer really isn't selling, which a lot of you have indicated in the chat here that things aren't going so well for you, there's a reason why. And we're going to get to the bottom of it. And the step-by-step process that I'm going to take you through in this particular section is really going to help you get the clarity that you need to create an offer that has people going, hell yes.
Yeah. And you guys will see this as we unfold a lot of Jackie's expertise in our business, but Jackie has her hands in everything that we put out. There wasn't a single launch we did last year that we didn't do at least 6 figures on. There is real strategy to what we do. We did $1 million in revenue last year. We're on track to do $3.5 million this year. I'm not sharing this with you to brag at all. I'm sharing this with you to give you facts and results from someone who would be teaching you and mentoring you with leadership teams that are doing what we're doing. We're teaching you what we are doing while we're doing it, right? Okay. So then I've got a fun story around number 3 and 4. So we'll talk to you guys about number 3 and 4. And then I'm going to give you again an example of how we're doing what we teach, why we think these core principles are so important. So number 3 is teaching our clients how to build a highly converting opt-in. Who knows in the chat what an opt-in actually is? Some of you are going to be like, come on, Melissa, that's elementary school. And some of you are going to be like, what the hell is an opt-in, right? And what is an opt-in? Who knows what an opt-in is and how you leverage it in the online, and not even online space, just in general with your guest speaking, wherever you are? Does anybody know what an opt-in is? So does anybody know the importance of building an email list? Does anybody know the importance of building it? Okay, good. So Jen knows. Yes. Okay. So let me just share this with you. Well, let me just share a quick story. I was scaling my coaching business in the infancy stages. I'd done my first little launch. Things were going great. I had this great little community on social media. And then guess what happened? My account got hacked. I lost my social media account. I lost my Facebook account. I lost my Instagram account. My LinkedIn account went dark. They actually even got into my PayPal account and were invoicing clients. That's a whole nother story. But the point of this is that was an early stage entrepreneur experience that taught me the value of building an email list. Because had I captured those clients and potential clients' emails from the get-go, I would not be at the mercy of the social media gods. Okay. And I'm going to give you guys an example of this in just a minute. The bottom line is you own your email list and you can market through email indefinitely, regardless of social media platform. Why we are obsessed with opt-ins is because opt-ins are what we call a freebie. There's something you put out that's around and aligned to your business that people would give you their email. Thank you, Christina, for that opt-in. And what I want to say here, and I know Jackie will hit on this, but not all opt-ins are created equally. I know a lot of people who create opt-ins and they're like, nobody's clicking, I'm not getting people's email lists. Your opt-in isn't converting because it's not desirable enough. Or there's a problem with your opt-in. There's too many questions. There's a million reasons your opt-in could not be optimized, but when it is optimized, it is an absolute moneymaker. And I'm going to give you guys an example in just a second. So we teach you and mentor you on how to build a highly converting opt-in. And Jackie will be the first to tell you if your opt-in is not good. With a very loving shove, she'll say, this sucks. We're going to go back to the drawing board and let me work with you. Jackie, do you want to speak to some what we do with opt-ins inside the Business Basics program? Anything you want to say before I go into the nurture sequence and kind of the next level?
So with your opt-in, and this program is for you whether or not you have one, because even if you have one, it may not be performing the way that you want it to be or as optimally as it could be, because you should be getting people opting in every day to your opt-in, and the right opt-in will do that for you. And it is definitely something where you offer knowledge and and then you get somebody's email address, but it has to be more than that, right? Like it also, like people have to want to go click that email, which just getting someone's email in this day and age is a very difficult thing in and of itself. People actually think about nowadays, well, if I sign up for this, I'm probably going to get on their email list and then I'm going to get like 10,000 emails. And is this really worth it? So like people actually are literally thinking that in their mind before they opt into things nowadays. And you want yours to be, again, a hell yes. Like, yes, I need this. I want this. I'm going to run to my inbox and grab it. And if it's not doing that, it's not good enough. And it's not going to work to be the true bridge that you need it to be to your program or course or offer or whatever it is that you're selling.
Yep. And we've created crappy opt-ins and we were like, had to throw them back in the trash and start from scratch. Right. Yep. But we've created a killer one. And we're going to talk about this in just a second. So this brings us, and let me just say this before I go into the nurture sequence. Opt-ins can be used on social media, but they can also be used. They're invaluable if you're a guest speaker somewhere, if you're virtually speaking, you're on stage. To have that QR code or that opt-in at the end of your presentation is invaluable. If you've got hundreds to dozens of people in an audience And at the end of it, it's a way for them to connect with you and for you to continue to bring value to them and later sell to them, right? So that brings us to the bringing value to them, which is the nurture sequence. So in our project number 4, we bring in Elise Cruz, who is an absolute copyright extraordinaire. She actually brings in incredible templates our clients love to get you started, to build this, what we call nurture, which is once people opt in, how are you nurturing them on their journey with you to create that know, love, and trust, right? This is really, really critical. So we give you the blueprint. We're bringing you the experts. What I wanted to do is show you guys how this plays out full, right? Some of you might have seen this post I made last week on Instagram. We made $100,000 in 24 hours while I was on vacation over Thanksgiving last year. And that might sound like, okay, bullshit, Melissa, right? Well, let me share with you the backstory. 3 years ago, my team and I developed an optimized lead magnet. See, lead magnet, opt-in, freebie, name it what you want. But we played with different opt-ins until we found one that people were giving us their emails more than others. And we doubled down and used that over the last 3 years. We fine-tuned and played with those variations, came up with the LinkedIn checklist. Some of you may have my LinkedIn checklist, right? It's a powerful marketing tool. Now, over those 3 years, we consistently nurtured these leads. What does that look like? Once they opt in and we create the traffic, they're on our email list. They've gotten that lead magnet. And now we are nurturing them with our incredible nurture sequence. We're bringing value as the authority in our space, as an online business coach, as a LinkedIn expert, right? And then, so what happens? Fast forward to Thanksgiving of 2022 for the first time ever. Jackie and I said about a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving, we said, let's run a Black Friday special. I think we have enough people on our email list. Let's run a special and see what happens. What happened, guys? We did over $100,000 in sales overnight while I was cutting down a Christmas tree, right? This is seemingly passive income. It's not, because we did what? We did the work before. We built the email list before. We nurtured these clients before, right? We now have an email list of over 20,000. And every time we go to launch, if you guys have seen me do a live launch, a third of our registrants, where do they come from? My email list, because they're in that decision cycle and ready to come in and take a look, right? So it wasn't like the $100,000 just fell in our lap, right? It's not a get rich quick scheme. It is building something and having the foresight up front, build it the right way with the right opt-in, with the correct practice, have the right magnet and the right nurture sequence to then leverage to create sales. Is this making sense to you guys? So this is just a case study that we wanted to share with you with my own business and how we're able to leverage it throughout the years, whether we're doing a Black Friday special or we're feeding into a workshop. Some of you came into this workshop from our email list. You got an email nurture, you saw this pop up and you were like, yeah, I think I'll check it out, right? Okay. Now, Jackie, anything you want to add to that before I get into creating your program or course?
I just want to give you guys some hope here and just say that just a few short years ago, Melissa, we were under 1,000 on the email list.
Yes. Yes.
So no matter where you're at, you're fine.
Yes.
There's always hope for everyone, because a lot of you are probably sitting here thinking like, I've got 50 people on my list, or I'm like, maybe I don't even have a list. And doing the right work will get you the right things.
And I'm so glad you brought this up. And Jackie, and this is why this is one of the core things we teach in Business Basics, because it is one of the foundations. If you get it right and you're consistent with it, it is a long-term asset. And I love that you pointed this out, Jackie. Even last year, my email list was at like 6,000 or 7,000, maybe, right? And now the bigger we get, a larger audience we get, the bigger the email list we build, right? So there's this quantum growth that can happen in a short amount of time when you have the right opt-ins, right? And the right nurture. Okay. So creating your program or course offering. So we teach you how to really create a viable offer. Again, this course program that people are interested in investing in. Jackie, do you want to speak to that?
Yep. So what this is really about is about the container that your offer goes out in. So what that looks like, whether it's a group coaching program, one-on-one services, we covered VIP days this time, which everybody was super excited about. Course, whatever it is, whatever is your container. And we're going to look at it and figure out which one is the best one for you to get started with if you don't have one, to get used to start making money quickly. But it has to be optimized. And we get into our heads a lot of times when we create programs and courses, and we create things that we think our audience wants. And then we're like, nobody's buying this. I'm going to show you why that happens and how to avoid it and how to create whatever it is, whatever container you want that's fully optimized to help keep the leads coming in after you sell it and beyond.
Yeah. And I love this, Jackie. And again, this is another thing I want to underscore, because if most of are we all connected on social media? I didn't really introduce myself with like my business and my business background. I'm assuming you guys all know the businesses that I run. But I think that this is a really classic example of where we're teaching you what we do, right? So we've done VIP days in our LinkedIn agency, right? So we teach VIP days. We have group coaching. We teach group coaching programs. We just built out an evergreen funnel. We're teaching clients how to do 60 to 90 minute webinars to convert to sales. We're teaching how to do the email marketing and to sell via email. And so my point is, we are not a one size fits all, right? I have a mastermind. I have a $22,000 mastermind I sell once a year from stage at a live event, right? So my point is, we have a lot of experience in selling programs of all different modalities, whether they're a VIP day, whether they're passive, whether they're from stage, whether you want to, take on the 9-day launch beast that I do a couple of times a year, right? But we have proven experience with all of these different modalities. And to Jackie's point, we are not a one size fits all. We really encourage our clients to take the route that's going to be best for their particular offer and their audience, right? And that brings me to the conversion events, right? Which kind of ties in with what I was just speaking to, really teaching you what is the best way to convert that program or course, how to sell it, how to create the actual sales. Anything you want to hit on there? I kind of jumped the gun on that, Jackie.
Yeah, with conversion events, I'm just going to say this. Everybody needs a conversion event. I don't care what you do. I was talking to someone in real estate last week. You need a conversion event. It's not like this thing that's just for courses. It's not like this thing that's just for programs, because that's where you typically see it. And you might be thinking, well, I don't want to do that type of a thing. And the thing is, you don't have to do like Melissa's big 9-day launches that she does. It can be wildly different. But all of these pieces that we've done before conversion event, it leads you into creating the perfect conversion event that will convert your offer over and over again. Like, that's the beauty of this program, is when you get to the end, you have a vehicle for sales that will work for you over and over and over again.
Absolutely. Awesome. Okay. So I'm going to hit on a couple of who these experts are. I've kind of hit on them already. I'm going to hit on some of the coaches that are in the program. And then before I review the rest of the program, I see that Dr. V is here, and I want to give her a second to speak to the group. She's just about to graduate. So who are these experts that teach, right? So we've got Danielle Damrell with the branding workshops in the beginning. When you guys look at some of the graphics, the graphic design, any of you guys who've gotten workbooks from me in the mail or come to our live events, she's done all of that. She's working with me on the publication of my book. She is all things branding, all things visually, and she is an absolute expert at what she does. And I've already hit on Elise. She is a digital unicorn when it comes to email marketing. There's a million other things she's phenomenal at, but she has fine-tuned all of our email marketing that we've leveraged during our Burnout to All Out live events. And she is a master at giving you guys foundational templates templates and core concepts to build out an email nurture that is optimized to create that know, love, and trust with your audience as you're building that email list that converts to sales. And then lastly, obviously, you've already heard from Jackie, but and she is my director of operations within Team Burnout to All Out. She's helped scale this business from 0 to multiple 7 figures over the last 3 years. She's certified in director of operations. She's certified as a master marketer. She's certified launch manager, certified growth strategist. She's also a master trainer inside of all of our programs. So these are the types of experts that you get, but that is not all. I'm going to talk to you in a couple minutes about the weekly live coaching you're going to get and support you're going to get from me and some other incredible humans. But before I do that, I want to jump to Dr. Veronica because she is here now. She is a student who's actually about to graduate from Business Basics. I think I'm going to see you in a couple of weeks here in North Carolina. Cannot wait. So Dr. V, welcome to the group. These guys are just learning about business basics. The large majority of them haven't even been into our LinkedIn Method Academy. These are people who are just curious about our business program, our business basics. I'd love for you to share your journey, maybe just a little bit about why you dove into business basics and what you're getting out of it.
Thank you. Yes. Hi. I look like my picture.
You do.
See, I learned that. Those are my brand colors. So I have to do that. Yes, I am Dr. Veronica De La Rosa, Dr. V. I'm an expert in the fields of numerology and leadership. And I have a signature program that is called the Code Your Leadership Superpowers, where I can help people, my clients, discover what type of leader they are. I have developed, according to numerology, 9 different leadership styles. And this was a new thing. Let me tell you a little bit about my story. I am a lawyer. I have a PhD. I have a master's degree. So after many years of really pursuing high degrees at university and working as a researcher, professor, lawyer across 3 different countries, travel the world, giving conferences, and fighting for the rights of women and working in the corporate field, I wanted to switch to my true passion, which is empowering women and empowering business owners to embrace a leadership style, to basically make the world a better place. Because when you are stepping into your uniqueness is when you can really change things. So I needed a method. I needed a way to market this new me. And it was a big shift, right? Because I was coming, like many of you here, probably including Melissa and Jackie, from corporate. And I now needed to do a shift. I needed to reinvent myself. I needed to rebrand myself. I needed to know how to sell my product. Mm-hmm. And that's, well, I knew them from the LinkedIn Academy. So that was my jump. Mm-hmm. I was part of that 100K that Melissa made in last Thanksgiving, for sure, because I jumped in right away, right? And that's because they had already worked, they had proved that the method worked, right? Like, and I wanted more. Mm-hmm. Because I was at a stage that what I was doing was working. I was getting more leads, I was getting more people, but I still wasn't sure of how could I get this numerology for leadership project rolling. And they have been very supportive. I can tell you a lot from my personal experience, how I created my opt-ins. I didn't understand the importance of the nurture sequence. And Jackie had to that really work hard and me understanding, because I was like, I don't believe in that stuff. And then finally now I get the importance of it. And I'm working on that. I love the deadlines because I'm super busy. So we have deadlines, we have monthly goals, milestones, and I haven't been able to win any prizes yet. but at least I've been able to finish on time every month, right? I'm not dragging stuff from the previous month to the next month, because then that just gets messy. But the milestones help with that. And I can tell you about my experience. And I can also tell you, because I've been fortunate enough to work with Melissa as a client, as a CEO, but also with her team, her leadership team, in decoding their leadership superpowers. And I can tell you that these guys are leaders. And they are like, well, we are all leaders, right? But what I'm trying to say here is like, they are really tapping in their uniqueness to do the project that they are working on. So you're going to get maximum, right? Because what they are doing is authentic. It's coming from who they are. It's coming from deep within. They are maximizing. That's what I do, right? Like I help people maximize into their leadership styles, and they really maximize in what they do. So when you get Melissa doing the hot seat, she's going to do it very well. When you get Jackie helping you with all the technical stuff, she's going to do it very well. Like everybody that is in those roles is very well fitted to do the work that they do. So that you don't get that in many courses. I've taken many courses that I've wasted money that I wish I hadn't, in some courses that really didn't help me. But you could see I have a website that I did by myself. I'm so proud. Well, obviously it was with Jackie's help, it was with Anne's help, right? Like everybody, the feedback from the group. But my accomplishments, I have my opt-in. I had to do an opt-in in a rush because I was invited to do a International Women's Day conference. So I finished it like really fast, and I got a lead. At least I got a new client for that. Like, so it's been great. I feel that I'm also more connected with who I really am. And it's been a lot of the support that I've been getting from the group. Like these guys are my cheerleaders. They're always promoting me. They're always helping, like sharing the word of the work that I do. And it's a family. Like you don't get that in many places.
I love that.
And that's why I've been here for so long. I started working with them last year in January. Yeah, it was last year in January.
Yeah.
And it's been an amazing experience. Like I'm so excited to be in by the end of this month in North Carolina and finally meet everyone in person, right? Because I've been working with you guys online I'm in Canada, by the way. So I've been working with you in a year and a half almost, and I'm finally going to meet everyone in person.
Yay. Cannot wait. It's going to be so good. Well, Dr. V, I love this. I guess 2 final questions. Number 1, out of all the projects you've done, which one surprised you the most that maybe you thought was going to be like just surprise? Whatever you want to make it. And number 2, like an example of results, like the output. Where has this worked for you? Yeah.
Well, I'm in love with my landing page that I did for Decode Your Leadership Superpowers.
Yeah.
I think that's what the surprise. I didn't know I could do this.
Yeah.
Right.
We
so
empower
it's
you to do these crazy things, right?
Yeah. So this I had to do it, and I just went for it. Right. Like I'm as many of you probably, I'm a recovery perfectionist. So that has been great that I'm just I've been pushed to do it and then fix it on the go. Right. But at least it's out there. Yep. So that's been great. And the results have been every day. I've been doing everything. I changed my branding colors in the first month. Well, the first month? Yeah, it's the first month. Then I created my opt-in in the second month. I work on I might have the months messed up, but I did created my nurture sequence. I have I'm been working on my courses. I'm behind because I went on holidays. So that was pretty
okay.
cool. You got everything working there. And then this hashtag business owner's life. Yeah. You can go on holidays. And then that was pretty cool. So I have to catch up with this month. But as I said, I created an opt-in. Next day I presented it, got 1 client, right? So that's
what I love. Actually, that's what I wanted to underscore that I love. And we find this sometimes with our clients is you were able to, this is what I really want to underscore for the people listening. You were able to shortcut and take quick, what's the word I want to use? You had the shortcut to get an opt-in built and ready before you were a guest speaker in front of a massive audience. You didn't have to guess, you didn't have to figure it out. You were able to, get the training, build it before you got there. And I think that is one of the big things that I want to underscore for these guys is that we're consolidating time for you so that you're not guessing. and know that will be our third or fourth class, I guess our third class coming up. And so all the previous trainings we have in a drive, if you come in and you're like, Melissa, I can't wait till next month to build my opt-in, we'll give you access to the training and the templates from the group before, if that's where you need to be right now, right? And we move you together as a cohort, but if you need to fast forward to get to something, you have access to all of that. Dr. V, thank you so much for popping in here and just sharing your experience. I love what you said, that you feel like you're more like you feel more yourself and more like a representative of who you are now than ever before. And I think that's an example of the work that you've been doing with us. You've had to do the work to build your business to where it is today. We've just been alongside you as your Sherpa, helping you get there, right?
Yes, exactly. And just before I close, I just want to say that if I may share a little bit of your numbers, Jackie and Melissa, before I do it.
Sure.
Yeah, because I have to ask permission, right? So if you let me tell you that Melissa is the idealistic humanitarian and the ambitious achiever, right? So she's going to take you there. That's guaranteed. And then Jackie is a tactical problem solver and the nurturing guide. So she's going to help you along the way too. So don't miss the opportunity to work with this great team.
Aw. That was so sweet. Thank you. I had no idea.
And you are amazing too. Like, you are absolutely amazing. You are one of those people that came in with so much stuff already built and already and you were ready, you were willing to dismantle that, and you took the leap of faith to do that. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that's just so commendable. And it's amazing because it takes a lot for people to say like, okay, I'm open to the feedback to get this right.
Yep.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. V. Really, really appreciate it.
Before you take that image out, let me just have a photo for my website.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
So moving on, I told you guys that's not all. We've got two other really incredible core components of the program, one of which is live coaching lifeline every single week. It is not enough for us to give you 6 core projects. We actually know that you have to be able to sell them too. And a lot of people don't come into the online space with a lot of experience in sales. So we've brought in my power partner, an internationally recognized sales expert, Natasha Hemingway, and she works with you monthly to build your sales strategy and close high ticket sales. She teaches you her formula, you role play with her, because what good is our program if you can't close leads, right? And some of you are going to lean more into that than others. We also have bi-weekly co-working sessions. Again, it's not enough for us to show you the way. Jackie and Kristen Day, who are absolute tech experts, marketing experts, are your lifeline every other week as you're trying to build out your brand in the online space. I will say this till I'm blue in the face. I would not be the multi-million-dollar brand I am today without the back-end support and vision that Jackie has to make the magic happen. And having her help integrate everything on the back end is what seamlessly made the front end look so nice. So how nice would it be to have office hours with people like Kristen and Jackie every other week as you're building your online brand, right? And then we have monthly business mindset expansion and hot seats with me. And Dr. V spoke to this, but I come in and I answer your questions. You know, what's your burning question? I get all kinds of questions, from selling on stage to hiring the right people to budgets and finance. Like, I am just an open door, like open book to anything. And so you get that with me. And then we have our co-working sessions, and you get an accountability buddy that helps move you along with your projects and support you along the way. So the core facilitator for each project each month comes in midway and does group coaching with you to make sure that you're moving along effectively, right? Now, I will say this.
Just to interrupt you, Sarah has to go at noon today. So if we can grab her before she goes.
Yeah, of course. So I'm not special. I'm just like you guys, right? I just invested in an incredible team along the way. and I'm bringing them to you, right? This was me 10 years ago, and I was the starving entrepreneur. Some of you you are today, right? It took me 10 years to get from this woman to the multi-million-dollar business I am today. I don't want that for you. I scraped my knees. I went through lots of contractors who weren't so great. I wasted a lot of money to get to the business I am today. This was me launching my coaching business. We've condensed time for you and created a core program for you guys, right? And then lastly, in our program, we have the live events. So we are giving you a ticket to our Burnout to All Out Nashville live event. But the cherry on top is the actual live event at my house. It's exclusive to our clients and Business Basics. That is the one Dr. V is flying into in the next couple of weeks. You guys are a small family to us. We do hot seat roundtables. We spend some incredible time together. So you're getting those 2 days of events as well. And then lastly, just to recap, I'm going to come to you in just a second, Sarah. I know you have to hop off at 1. You get action-based projects, weekly live support through sales, tech, and business mindset coaching with me. You get the experiential live events, you get the community, and you get the co-working sessions. And the bottom line is we could charge easily, and I think if you took a step back, you would agree, we could easily charge $39,000, $40,000 for this program because of the 6 projects you get with the project experts, the lifeline coaching every single week, the live events at my house and in Nashville. But your investment is $4,987. I've been in your shoes and I know my community, and this is a mini mastermind. Our goal is that this is a rocket ship to propel you into our high-level mastermind, right? And so let me just show you your payment options, and then I'm going to jump to Sarah. You can pay in full for $4,987, or you can do a payment plan, $1,500 down, and then 5 additional payments of $797, right? And that buy now bonus that's only good until we're done streaming today. We're actually throwing in 2 months inside of our LinkedIn Method Academy. If you're already in the academy, you just get 2 bonus extra months. If you're not in the academy, you're going to love it because it is going to be your go-to lead generator for your business. With that, I want to jump to Sarah, and then we'll jump into some Q&A with you guys. Sarah is in Business Basics right now. And she's been an incredible client. She's also a master coach in the program. Sarah, I'll just turn it over to you if you want to talk about your experience and results in the program.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for having me on. Part of my Mother's Day gift was I got to stay at our weekend house for 2 extra days. So a little different sitting here in a kitchen and not in my office, but I'm so excited to talk to you guys because I was sort of in a different position when I started in Business Basics in January. I had some ideas for a business. I had been involved in network marketing for quite a long time. We're talking over 17 years. And I wanted something of my own. I wanted something in the digital space, maybe become an online course creator of something. I didn't really know. I just knew that Melissa was the person to go to because she knows and Jackie knows. And I mean, this whole powerhouse team that you have right here at your fingertips. And so when I jumped in January, I did everything Melissa said. And you guys, if you're not following her podcast, make sure that you do. Because on her podcast, she talked about in beginning of January, what she did to kind of map out her business. So I am a great copycat, right? I'm like, follow the leader, follow the best leaders. And so I was down here at this house and the wall behind me was covered in huge sticky notes of potential business ideas and what I could do with Business Basics. That was January 9th. 90 days later, I launched my course. In those 90 days, I figured out what in the world was an opt-in and a lead generation and a funnel. And you guys, these were words I had heard, I didn't know. So I was listening to her podcast and I was on all of the calls with Business Basics. And I know that's not typical, right? But I'm not typical. And I was like, I'm going to go, if I'm doing this, I'm all in, right? And you can go, like Dr. B said, she's going very slowly and taking it month to month. I'm like, I'm doing this. Like, I'm just doing it. So I had in those 90 days, I figured out what I wanted on a website. We built out a website. I figured out what opt-ins were. I created a lead magnet, figured out how to do funnels, all of those things. You guys, I knew none of it. Not one thing, not one thing. I didn't even really have an idea for a business. And in those 90 days, I did my first launch. You guys are going to be really underwhelmed when I tell you I had 77 people, either 77 or 83 total emails on my email list. I mean, knocking it out of the park, right? 77, you're thinking, wow. And the average conversion rate, they'll tell you, is like 1% to 2%. So I was really going to have a lot of people buying into my course, right? 77 emails. I had, at the end of my 4-day launch, I had 6 people paying in full for my course, which is about $1,000. And jumped in. I'm like, okay, now I have to create the course. They paid for it. What am I doing now? And so I quickly created it as I went. We're on week 6 now of my course. And I get text messages literally daily saying, this is changing my life. This is transformed. Like, thank you, thank you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, literally January, this didn't even exist. But because of Business Basics, it does now. I will tell you, my second launch this past week was not as phenomenal. I had a bigger list, but there's some breakdowns. I kind of messed with my funnel a little bit and made, human errors, right? So you learn as you go. And how cool it is that I have Jackie that I can go to and go, Jackie, I'm like heartbroken. What happened? She's like, okay, we're going to figure it out. If you were trying to create your own course along the way and you didn't have this support team behind you, I could easily see how you could go throw in the towel. Yeah, move on to the next project. But Jackie and I have a call tomorrow and we're going to figure it out. And I'm so excited about all of that. So I'm so thankful for this course. I'm thankful for, obviously for Melissa and for Jackie and the whole team, because I have it mapped out what my end of the year is going to look like. And it is amazing. Like, I can't wait. Like, I want you to re-invite me to the next one, Melissa, like in November, December, because I know I'm going to have the most fantastic results for you, because I've had this course to back me up.
Oh, I love this. I hope that you guys are hearing this. What I want to underscore here, Sarah, is in January, she had no proof of concept. She had January.
Yeah.
She had no idea what she was going to do, what she was going to sell, what it was going to look like. January, February, March, April, May. Within 5 months, you started to grow an email list. You built an opt-in. You did your first launch, you brought in your first 6 or 7 clients, and you're building out your course. Guys, I did $1,200 in my first launch. I'm going to say that again. I did $1,200 the first time I tried to sell my program. We did $560,000 last month. Okay. It is a process that you fine tune to what Sarah just pointed out. We don't just throw the baby out with the water. You go back to the drawing board. If you knew me 3 years ago, I saw new here today. I'm selling the same shit I sold 3 years ago, but I'm optimizing how I do it. Right? We don't throw everything out. We optimize. Sarah, I love that. I know you have to jump off.
I do. I have a potential client that I found through my last course. And so we're chatting in about a minute. I'm hopping on my Zoom with her.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sarah. Now, Sarah is a rock star when it comes to LinkedIn. She graduated from a LinkedIn program. Thank you so much for popping on, Sarah, sending you positive vibes. You close that client.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you. Yeah. Sarah came in through our LinkedIn Method Academy, just like Dr. V, where they learn to really generate leads as a lead generator on the LinkedIn platform. And then they escalated up into our Business Basics, right? And came to us with, Dr. V had her program kind of baked, right, Dr. V? But then we fine-tuned it with her along the way. Whereas Sarah was like, I want to launch something. I'm just not quite sure what. And in a matter of 5 months, she has the full thing baked, which is incredible. So with that, we've got a couple more minutes. I'm going to open up for questions for those of you guys who have questions, but I want to recap for you. First of all, you can join us at Business Basics. We are capping the class at 30, and we already have, I think, 15 internal clients who've joined. So we've got 15 more seats left. Those of you who purchased today before we hang up, if you invest before we hang up, You actually get a bonus $1,500 value. You get 2 months free inside of our LinkedIn Method Academy, which is a phenomenal program for lead generation on LinkedIn. And what you're investing in is you're getting the action-based projects to produce profit, 6 projects, 1 per month, weekly live support, sales coaching, tech support every other week, business mindset coaching from me, 2 live experiential events, one of which is here at my house. You've got the community, so you're not going it alone. Again, this program is worth tens of thousands of dollars for you. It's $49.87. And you can pay with a payment plan. You can put $1,500 down and you can make 5 additional payments. You do save almost $500 if you pay in full. Again, here's the QR code you can hit. And again, that's the buy now bonus before we end today, if you decide you want to join us. Oh, thank you, New. Okay, so I'm going to open up for questions in just a second. I have just some final remarks here. And that is that remember why you are here, right? Remember why you came to this webinar. Were you motivated to leave behind tireless, time-consuming tactics, trying to figure out how to scale your own business online, seeking highly supportive, expert lead team and community? Or are you looking to change your trajectory in your business? You want to change your story with a clear guide, not do it alone, right? Step by step with support along the way. And then lastly, I will just bring you back to our promise, which was the most powerful plan for scaling your business, making that ultimate shift and going from struggling to making sense of the online business stretched too thin and confused as to where to focus, to expanding your profits through this 6-step process. And it's not just the projects. I'm telling you, it's the community. When Sarah launched her course, everybody was like, okay, I can launch mine too, right? When you've got a peer that's doing it, you're like, okay, I can do this too, right? And the coaching, the real-time coaching. So with that, I am going to open up for questions that you guys may have. And